cul-de-sac right under the flight path of London Airport. It's the home of one of the most successful areas of British motor racing. And here, joint managing director of McLaren Racing, Phil Kerr.
The name of the game is to win. Of that there is no doubt. I think all of us that are involved in racing have one ambition, and that is to win. We hate, like anything, getting beaten. Modern racing cars are very expensive to manufacture in the first instance. They're inordinately expensive to maintain because you've got highly stressed engines and highly stressed components which require attention after and before every race. I think it's true to say that the engine is very much the heart of the racing car.
Costing £7,500 alone, this engine made by Ford Cosworth has been fantastically successful. It has 8 cylinders, 4 valves to each cylinder, twice the number in a domestic car. Built with incredible precision, it produces an amazing 450 horsepower from its 3-litre capacity. Stretched to the limit, it has to be completely rebuilt before every race. But it's not just the engines that they're continually rebuilding. I talked to Gordon Coppuck, chief designer from McLaren's.
What was good enough last year, in fact, even last month, may not be good enough now.
The engine of a McLaren car is bolted directly onto the back of the driver's cockpit. The fuel tanks are placed on either side for maximum stability. There is no room for anything that is not essential. Each car has 2 mechanics who look after it for the whole of its racing life. Ross is responsible for Peter Gethin's car, so he's really responsible for his safety too. What's this you're doing now?
Oh, this is the seat.
That's the
Fitting
seat?
it in, yes. Well, when Peter took this car over, some fiberglass people came down and filled the whole tub with clay and then sat him in it and pushed him down, and he, twiddled the steering wheel and pushed the pedals and, really got comfortable in the car, and then they took a mould off that and went away and made the seat.
Peter Gethin, the 1969 and 1970 Formula 5000 champion, is starting his second season in Grand Prix racing as the number 2 driver for McLaren. Peter, this car looks very sort of primitive and generally very uncomfortable. I'm very surprised by that, yes.
I'm surprised by your remarks, actually.
I mean, there's no padding and nothing to make you feel presumably comfortable while you are racing. Why is that? Particularly at the back.
Well, in actual fact, the seat, it's taken us, we've done 2 races now, and it's taken us this long, because I'm very, very awkward to get the seat this comfortable, and this is the 3rd fitting they've had for it. One of the advantages of looking so uncomfortable, actually being comfortable and being up against the engine, is that you can feel any vibrations or anything that's sort of awkward or that possibly going wrong with the engine or transmission. And all these things sort of come through the chassis and through the seat.
Yeah, so you're sort of driving with your whole body, so to speak, really.
Yes, you are, really. You're not really worried about whether the steering is light or heavy on a racing car. You want as little movement as possible. I mean, that's a big turn. And if you go there, you're going back the way you came almost.
I imagine that there'd be a lot of complicated dials and switches, but in fact it's very simple.
Well, it's because drivers are simple normally, I think that. In the centre you've got a rev counter. You have to try and keep it around 10,000 RPM. You have oil pressure, which is quite important here. If you don't get time to look at this gauge all the time, and this light starts coming on, the oil pressure has dropped below around, I think it's about 40 pounds it's set to come on at.
That's dangerous. Is that a danger light?
It's really a danger light on the engine. It's telling you that the engine is either getting low on oil or the oil pressure is dropping, and there is a likelihood that it's about to explode.
It's likely to explode?
Isn't it? Yes. This operates the fire extinguisher with a cylinder of powder is kept here. The idea is that it extinguishes any flame inside, and you then get out as quickly as you possibly can by means of undoing it and leaping right out. You
do look a bit cramped. Can I get in and try?
Well, yes, all right. Yes, why not? Yeah,
see how
sure.
difficult it is for you to get out.
Yeah,
anyway.
I think you'll be surprised how comfortable it really is. Put your left leg over and in. That's it. And follow it with the other one. That's right. Hold the back of the seat down. Put your feet right underneath the steering wheel. That's right. And then just slide down. Fine. It's very comfortable. That's it. Oh, it's a nice tight fit, isn't it? Fine. Good. Fits you. Fits you beautifully. Almost. How's that feel?
What is this strange little knob here, by the way?
That strange little knob is the gear linkage.
The gear lever?
Yeah. In actual fact, you know, we've got 5 speed plus a reverse.
I mean, could another driver, if necessary, get in and drive this car?
Not really, because although the car is basically the same as Denny Holmes' car, my teammate, this one is the seat and the pedals and the steering column length towards me is designed or made especially to fit me, so that me being a bit awkward, you know, it'd be difficult for someone normal to sit in it, as you found.
Tailor-made cars and international superstars. June 1971 sees them all in England. Jackie Stewart has won the French Grand Prix 2 weeks ago. Now, 2 days before the British Grand Prix, the whole circus moves to Silverstone. Brabham, Tyrrell, Matra, Ferraris, Surtees, BRM, Lotus and McLaren. Even top drivers have to present their racing licence before being allowed onto the track. The cars also will have to be carefully scrutineered.
What's so special about this bloke Gethin?
I don't know. Must be something to do with my boyish good looks.
Race morning, Peter's flat in London. He seems incredibly relaxed, but all top drivers are able to wind down before a race. Any sort of nerves would mean disaster. They not only can, but must be able to drive even better under the stress of race conditions. But despite all this, and all the safety precautions, a mistake can be fatal.
It's always asked, isn't it, whether it's for anything, whether, you know, how dangerous is it? It's motor racing is dangerous, so is bullfighting, so is mountain climbing, so is fishing. If you fall in the river, you could drown. It's certainly more dangerous than fishing, but I personally think that I'm actually a selfish person, and therefore I think I don't take any unnecessary risks. So if someone has been killed after the race, you'll be pretty upset, or I'm upset, especially if I know them and know them well. But I think that, you know, I'm doing the same thing. I think to myself, what would happen if I was killed? Well, I would feel sorry for the people who I know, or who know me, or who are fond of me. Not too many, but a few. And I feel sorry for them. But really, I'm doing something that I enjoy doing more than anything else in the world. I really love doing it.
Today is the British Grand Prix at Silverstone. This is the climax after 2 hard days of practice. This is expected to be the fastest race at Silverstone ever today. A Grand Prix is a major international sporting event and attracts vast crowds. The drivers have to fly in to avoid the traffic jams. There were 13 races in the championships in 1971, beginning in March in South Africa and ending in October in America. The British Grand Prix falls halfway through the championship. In perfect racing conditions and a record crowd, with only 3 seconds between the lap times of the 24 cars, it's going to be a real race.
I think there's a great need for the driver to have complete confidence in the mechanics who are preparing his car. You can't afford to leave nuts and bolts undone. You can't afford to make a mistake in fitting a component, because the consequences could be too serious.
With tanks full of petrol, the mechanics miraculously reassemble the cars in their own race against the clock, as the cars are called out to the marshalling area. Peter, you've now got your grid position for the race, which puts you on the 5th row.
Really? Yes, it
Here.
does, unfortunately,
Now,
doesn't it?
do you work out in advance the sort of tactics of which cars you're going to try and get past?
No, I always just jump the flag, and when I see the flag go up, other people wait for it to get down. I sort of shoot off,
Yeah,
and I try and sort of weave my way through by the time the flag goes down. Basically.
yeah. Allowing for the fact that possibly this isn't allowed. I mean,
No,
is there anything
you
you can
can't
do?
really. No, you just got to make the best start that you possibly can.